Hey guys, Nathan Reed here, Superheroes in Business. This is going to be a little bit of a different video than the normal ones that you are getting. This one is going to be on crowdfunding, okay? This is massive. We started reinventing films with crowdfunding. We did over 6 figures for a couple of projects, partnered with Justin Giddings, who was also a 6-figure crowdfunder who had used our system. And in the last about 3 to 4 months, we've taken what we developed, myself, Jody Bentley, and Justin Giddings, and have done over $250,000 for campaigns. One of them that just finished was Beechwood Drive, which if you just do a search on Kickstarter, you'll find that one. That was a $55,000 crowdfunder, all right? I am much more direct when it comes to crowdfunding because I've been in the trenches on that, okay? I've done so many successful campaigns that once you get done with that, you pretty much go, this is the way to do it, there's no other way to do it, forget everything else. Forget everything else, okay? There's no way to kind of quantify how to be successful in crowdfunding except to go, you need a system. Now, let me describe what a system is, okay? What Jody Bentley, Justin Giddings, and myself did is we did an entire manual on crowdfunding, which is like the step-by-step of everything from prep to what you need in your prep, how many days, are you PRing before the launch of your campaign, everything you could possibly think of, we laid out in this system. We then did an audio for you to listen to really digest what it is to crowdfund, okay? Then we did a video series, and all of that is how we've actually been able to have the results, okay? We don't skip on results. We don't skip on prep work. We don't skip on how many people that you need. So I'm going to give you one little tidbit that will basically give you an idea of what you're looking at for crowdfunding. My team helped me develop this, okay? I'm the numbers guy. I'm the guy who goes, all right, you need $30,000. I basically break down for you how many people you need to reach out to and how many people need to know about your campaign, not contribute, although we'll talk about that in a second, but just know about your campaign in order to make you successful. Because you can make a pretty good dent with $30,000. You can make an even bigger dent with $100,000, but that's an entirely different system. Because this is outside of the con man that Nathan Fillion was doing. It's outside of Super Troopers 2, which is live right now, which did $2 million in its first day. Those are icon entities, Veronica Mars, all that stuff. Those are iconic things that have tens of thousands of fans who are going to contribute towards that thing. I'm talking about the artistic venture. No one knows you. You are just making your dream happen, whether it be web series, whether it be an album, whether it be a short film, feature film, whatever it is, okay? So I'm going on that you are in obscurity, all right? No one knows who you are and what you do, okay? So let's break down what your team is, okay? Now, your team is the people that is going to be actively raising funds with you throughout your entire campaign. These are the people who are in the trenches with you, posting 7 to 10 times per day, okay? Let that number land. 7 to 10 times per day per person who is on your team. And that's 7 to 10 to Twitter, 7 to 10 to Facebook, 7 to 10 to Pinterest, 7 to 10 to everything. This is a monstrosity undertaking. There is no way to skip doing it. Period. If you think it's going to be easy, click off this video right now. If you were looking for a quick fix for crowdfunding, something you could listen to because you're launching in a week, forget it. Just hit stop. It's not going to happen, okay? This is about what we do, which is 2 to 3 months of prep work, okay? That basically means that we are treating our campaign, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, whatever it is, like a movie trailer. And we are going, they start advertising for movies 3, 4, sometimes 6 months before that movie comes out because you need to be iconic and known before you become in the social media realm, or you are going to become like the 55% of all crowdfunders that fail. And that is not specific to artistic ventures. That's just 55% of crowdfunders together. And that's a 2014 Kickstarter stat, just so you know. All right, so let's say that you have, let's use 5 people, okay, including yourself, all right? So 5 people total. You guys are going to actively go out there, and if you're looking for $30,000, that's $6,000 per person. Now, that's a little bit more confrontable than one person doing 30 grand, okay? It's possible for one person to do 30 grand, and I know that because Justin Giddings has done like 3 times that amount, but it is, you're doing the work of 10 other people, okay? So have a system in place for what you're doing, meaning what things are you doing daily, all right? Have them plotted out. Have your entire system so that you're just basically following like a checklist and going great, 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 done, 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 all right? So we developed a term called points of contact. That basically means, it's very simple like advertising, is it goes, one email is one point of contact. Okay, one phone call is one point of contact, all right? You get the idea. Facebook is a little bit harder to quantify because they have algorithms now that control how many people see your posts, and not just people that saw it. That doesn't mean they were sitting at their computer. That just means that Facebook allowed it to go on their wall for them to be able to see it. That's why the 7 to 10 times per day doesn't bombard people like you think that it does, because they might not have been sitting at their computer seeing it, and they might not have been one of the ones that Facebook actually allowed for you to see your posts. So don't worry about bombarding people. It doesn't exist. And if you think you have an issue with bombarding people, look at products like Coke, Pepsi, Microsoft, and Nike. You think they worry about bombarding you? No. They'll hit you over the head until you basically go, I must buy Nike, right? That's called marketing. That's called advertising, okay? You have to treat your campaign the exact same way, which means that 3 months before you launch, if you're looking at 90 days, is that you are doing a, hey, I'm launching in 89 days. You are doing a countdown all the way up to the launch of your date to your entire network of contacts. That's all your Gmail contacts, all your Yahoo Mail contacts, all your LinkedIn contacts, all your Facebook contacts, everything you could possibly think of, all right? That's the people that are going to care. We do not quantify towards things of our campaign of just the mystery donors who happened upon your campaign and just happened to donate. That doesn't really exist, and it's not something that you can factor in as just, oh, well, I only have 120 Facebook friends, but I'll go viral. No, you won't, all right? That's the reality of crowdfunding. It's the hardest endeavor you will ever have to do, okay? So let's look at raw numbers, all right? I'm gonna give you a little tidbit of something that's actually in our crowdfunding system. We developed what % of support are you actually going to get from your circle. That's everybody that you possibly know, everybody you're connected to in the social media realm, of your entire team, okay? So let's look at one person, all right? If all together you have 5,000 contacts, that's maybe 2,000 Facebook friends, 800 people on LinkedIn, you get the idea. I'm just using raw numbers here to give you an idea, okay? If you were to reach out to 3 months before you launch, those 5,000 people on a consistent basis, just to PR to them, to let them know that you're going to launch and why they should care about your project. This is the % of support that you are actually going to get from your friends, family, colleagues, and everybody. Ready for this? This is going to hurt. 3, maybe 4. Okay? Now let that land for just a second. That means for every 100 people that you call, or every 100 people that you personally email, don't you BCC me, don't you hey friends me, forget that. These are individual emails that you are sending. You get the sense of the full-time job that you're looking at right now? There's no skimping on this. How do you think we've been successful every single time? How do you think we did 6 figures multiple times, all right? We took it as a full-time job, all right? So if you're getting 3% of support, that means that you need to reach out to 24,000 points of contact. So let's do the math. I've memorized these numbers, so I'm gonna get pretty close, but you can do this on your calculator, all right? Do 24,000 times 0.03. and I believe it's around in the 700 realm, okay? That means for 24,000 people that you contact throughout the length of your campaign, that's not on day one, okay? That's for the length of your campaign, you are gonna get 3% of support from those 24,000 people, all right? That means that 700 people are going to care, okay? Now the average donation, when you get done with your campaign, the average donation that we have found, sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but the aggregate that we have found is about 45 bucks, all right? And that's factoring in the people that give 5 grand to the people that give $5. It usually medians out to be about $45. Now we've seen campaigns that did higher, that did more along the lines of 100, but that's a lot of PR and a lot of prep to get those types of massive donations, all right? So do the math. What's $700 times 45? It's around the $30,000 mark, all right? So if you have a $60,000 campaign, you're at 48,000 people. Now, here's what's scary. I don't have 48,000 contacts, and you probably don't have 48,000 contacts. Now do you see why your team is important? Now do you see why training your team is important? Because this is not just, oh, let me get 6 friends together and they're going to help me raise my money. Why should they help you raise your money? Why should they help you raise your dream? All right? You've got to incentivize them. You have to train them. And this is why we have an entire program. All right? We don't hope, wish, and pray and roll the dice and hope to get lucky. We treat it systematically, which basically means that if you have a $30,000 campaign and you know that you need to reach out to 24,000 people and you have 5 people on your team, maybe including you to make it 6, you each have to reach out to 4,000 points of contact. Now, using the example that I had 5,000 to begin with, now do you see where the math comes into play? So if you are not on social media, if you are not on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, everything you could possibly imagine, get away from crowdfunding. Walk away. Don't even consider it. Do not contact us with 200 Facebook friends and say, I want to run a $50,000 campaign. We won't let you buy our material, because you can't just auto buy our material. We wanted to make sure of it. We have to vet you because we want to make sure that you're up to the par of being successful. How do you think we've been successful every single time? So if you guys have more questions on crowdfunding, get on a call with me, all right? I do free calls of about 10 minutes and then I'm basically done because we are that busy because we moved from crowdfunding into private investing, but you can email me at reinventingfilms@gmail.com. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. I don't give a lot of free advice because it took me years to figure this stuff out. And it took me, if you can imagine, quantifying the hours, all right? So there's a lot of respect that comes down to the work. And if you don't respect the work, you really will fall into those unsuccessful campaigns. You might as well roll your dice in Vegas. You got a better chance, all right? They call it crowdfunding for a reason. You need a crowd. You don't have a crowd? You got to spend the next, 6 months to a year getting one. All right? I told you I was more direct. I wanted to hit you guys hard. If you want to email me again, it's reinventingfilms@gmail.com. Our whole system is absolutely worth it. I'm not even going to tell you how much it is because do you care? We average between $7,000 to $12,000 on our first day. Now, even if my system was $4 grand, $3 grand, whatever it is, if we average that, do you care? All right? You may have saw a little glitch right there, and that's because I had a phone call come in for another film that I'm working on. So I hope this was helpful. You guys know how to contact me. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.